see. Well, I mean, he's done his bit, so and I'm sure he wants to enjoy.
But he can still play.
This is Sporty FM, the voice of
Antonio did a
sport.
decent job in the Black Stars. Black Stars midfield.
He's done his bit for the Blacks. I don't think he wants to come back.
Oh no, but I'm saying, I mean, if you give him the chance today, he can still play.
Reaper.
Oh, but this thing Kusisi boy is doing there. Antonio now do better. Pablo, Nathan, it's Pablo we are talking about. Pablo.
So,
Nathan, you forgotten Pablo.
I haven't forgotten Pablo.
But Nathan, talking about Black Stars, yesterday, the portals or the news portals were flooded with stories of 3 Portuguese managers. And according to reports, those are the managers being considered for the vacant Black Stars coaching role. If you can help our listeners today with those 3 Portuguese.
So, according to reports, the names are Paulo Bento, Carlos Queiroz, and Fernando Santos. Right?
Yes.
So those are the 3 names: Paulo Bento, Carlos Queiroz, and Fernando Santos.
Nathan, who is Bento?
Paulo Bento. Well, Paulo Bento's at least in terms of the World Cup, Paulo Bento coached South Korea, I believe it was, right?
Yes.
When Ghana beat South Korea 3-2, he was South Korea's head coach.
Yeah.
Ex-Portuguese player. I remember him that he played in the 2002 World Cup.
Okay. Yes. And he was coach of Portugal when they beat us after we collected the cash. In Brazil 2014.
In Brazil 2014.
When we were kissing the cash.
Yeah. He was Portugal's head coach or manager at the time.
So, it was a game we could have won. But our boys clearly, they were in a different mood.
Yes.
So he was their coach then. And he coached South Korea at the World Cup in 2022 when Otoado beat him. That is Mr. Bento.
Okay.
Well, Otoado beat him at the World Cup in 2022. When you make the argument for Tom Saintfield, they tell you that, who told that Saintfield that Otto beat his malady. Bento, Otoado, our former coach, beat him at the World Cup when he brought Korea to the tournament.
Okay.
Now, after leaving Korea, he decided to go to the United Arab Emirates to go and look for cash. And it didn't go too well. They sacked him. The UAE people sacked him and his technical team because they were not performing. So, that was how he lost his job. In fact, they were defeated
Sporty FM.
by North Korea, the World Cup qualifiers. And said, but why is North Korea beating UAE? They sacked him. That's how he lost his job. But in terms of his body of work as a coach, he's been at Sporting CP. He's coached Portugal. And I think it was the Sporting CP job that gave him the, how do you call it? The platform to take over that Portuguese national team role. Because he had won the Taça de Portugal on 2 occasions.
Which is the Portuguese Cup.
Yes. And then he had won the how do you call it? The Premier Liga with Sporting CP. Okay, no. He won yes, he didn't he won the Taça de Portugal. Yes. He won the Taça de Portugal twice. And then he finished runner up twice. And then he won the Super Taça. You get it. And then he went to Olympiacos after the World Cup.
Sporty FM,
and won the league
the voice of sport.
with Olympiacos. So, in terms of his body of work, it was Sporting CP that gave him the opportunity to burst onto the scene like, a top manager. You get it. And, I mean, he was able to manage the Portuguese national team, get them to the World Cup, try a few things here and there. It didn't work. He went to Korea. It didn't work. It didn't really work. And that was it for him. So in terms of his real body of work, the only thing you can talk about in terms of honest is the Greek League. Winning the Greek League with Olympiacos, which is to be expected from any manager who goes in. I think our good friend also won the Greek League. Our good friend, Ange, need to win it? I'm sure he did. I'm sure. He had a stint at Olympiacos. I think he did. So that's Bento for you. Now, Nathan, there's another man on the table. 73-year-old Carlos Queiroz. Now, Carlos Queiroz is one manager who many would remember his days at Manchester United as being his most successful in his career. Okay. So, as assistant coach at Manchester United, a lot of people say, well, he was the brain behind Sir Alex Ferguson, he was the main man, he was the one who did this, he was the one who did that. But, again, we've seen him in Africa.
Sporty FM.
He was handed that South Africa team in the early 2000s, right? And South Africa had brought him in on the back of, quite an impressive run in the UAE, in Japan, at Sporting CP, managing Portugal at the under-20 level and all, and then even at the senior national team level. So he went to South Africa really early in the 2000s. But, I mean, again, he resigned after falling out with Safa. Okay, he never really got the job done, but he resigned around that time. Then he came back, then he came to Manchester United as assistant for 1 year. Then Real Madrid plugged him, expecting him to deliver for them. He never really cut it there. Came back to Manchester United to work with Sir Alex Ferguson. Won a few titles with Sir Alex Ferguson, including the famous 2008 Champions League. I think he was in Sir Alex Ferguson at the time.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, yes. So that 2008 Champions League, yes, he was in the
yes.
He won it. So as assistant coach at United, he won 3 Premier League titles. And that seems to be one of his greatest achievements ever. Managed Portugal to the FIFA Youth Championship in 1989, 1991. Won the UEFA Under-16 Championship in 1989. Won the Under-17 World Cup. He finished third, Portugal. Then he came to Sporting CP.
Which year was this?
The Under-17. Yeah, that was 89.
Okay.
So he did a lot of the youth between 89 and 91.
Okay.
With Portugal.
Okay.
Then he went to Sporting CP after that. He won the Taça de Portugal, and then won a few other trophies in there. He never won the Portuguese league. Then he went to Asia.
This is
He played for
Sporty FM,
where he
the
coached,
voice of sports.
Nagoya Grampus. It's a Japanese team. He didn't win the J League there. He was Asian Cup Winners' Cup runner-up.
Okay.
He went to the Gulf, went to United Arab Emirates, finished third in the Gulf Cup in 1998. Then his Real Madrid stint, as I said, he won the Supercopa de España and finished runner-up in the Copa del Rey. So that's basically all he achieved since returning to Manchester United to work with Alex Ferguson. He went to Egypt, runner-up AFCON. He was beaten by Senegal.
Yes. No,
2021.
2021.
2021.
Yes.
AFCON final. Senegal beat him.
Yes.
Then there was the playoffs for the World Cup. That was when Otu was playing Nigeria. He was playing Senegal again. And he managed to lose to Senegal on penalties.
Yes.
Over 2 legs.
Yes.
And that was when his romance with Egypt came to an end.
Yes.
Now, since leaving Egypt, he went to Iran, he was fired. Went to Qatar, he was fired. Went to Oman, he was fired. Qatar, he left Qatar with a win percentage of 36.36, similar to Otto. Went to Oman, 33.33, similar to Otto. Otto has these 2 stats. So, I mean, his only real job in terms of being at the top delivering was when he was with Sir Alex Ferguson as assistant between 2004 and 2008. When he won 3 Premier League titles and a Champions League. After that, Nathan, it never happened for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's 73, and a lot of us believe that he's quietly enjoying his retirement somewhere. So as to how his name pops up in this equation again, for a retirement coach, a coach who is busy looking after his grandkids and having fun with them, enjoying his pension money, as to how he suddenly comes into this equation again, nobody understands. But again, he's one of the coaches they have penciled. Then there's another old man, 71-year-old Fernando Santos. That's the name, right?
Yes.
Former coach of Portugal. Former Portuguese national team coach. Right. So Fernando Santos, he was sacked after Portugal's 2022 World Cup disaster, if I may put it that way. So he had an issue with Cristiano Ronaldo. Remember that whole substitution thing?
Yes.
Carlo Ramos, Cristiano Ronaldo, all of those things. Yeah. So again, he comes in with quite a huge CV, very good body of work. Worked in Portugal, worked at FC Porto, AK Athens, Panathinaikos, Sporting CP, AK Athens, been in Greece for a couple of times, worked at Benfica. Then back to Greece before managing the Portuguese national team as well. So, I mean, in terms of working with the Portuguese national team, he comes across as one of the coaches who stayed there for a long time, between 2014 and 2022. So again, lots of experience, won the Euros with them, won the Euros in 2016, got them to win the UEFA Nations League as well. So he seems to understand a bit of how to manage teams with big egos. Okay. Then, since leaving Portugal, he went to Poland. It never really happened for him at Poland. Went back to Besiktas. It never really happened. Came to Azerbaijan. Again, it didn't happen for him. And Santos has been, you know,
This is Sporty FM, the
it's
voice of
been
sport.
done with coaching, you know, around that time. So again, 71-year-old Fernando Santos, again being talked about, but we'll see how things pan out for him, because we haven't seen him do too much in the last few years, and with all his struggles with Portugal, late on in his career as coach, I mean, if he becomes coach of Black Stars, we can only wish him well.
Well, we'll see. So listeners, those are the three names that are reportedly in the hunt to become the next Black Stars coach: Fernando Santos, Carlos Queiroz, and Paulo Bento. So those are the names. A little later, we'll open the phone line so you can tell us what you make of the three. Do you have a preference of these three? Because reportedly, those are the names. We'll come back to the Black Stars coaching football stuff. But as promised, we have our esteemed ambassadors here. And as I said, it's a very interesting conversation we'll have. You know, the European Union in Ghana is doing something that I find very interesting. They are going on, some people say it's not an expedition, but they are going on this very interesting exercise. We'll talk about that and other things. Time check is just 2 minutes after 8. This is the Sporty Breakfast. My name is Nathan Kwari. Monyamado is here. You can send in your comments on 054 257 1061. 054 257 1061. All right, let's proceed. It's our pleasure to say that we've been joined by, as we said, two members of the European Union's diplomatic corps in Ghana. We have in studio His Excellency Pavel Bilek. He's ambassador of the Czech Republic in Ghana. Your Excellency, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation, and good morning to all who listen today to Sporty FM.
Thank you so much. We also have His Excellency Jakob Linulf, ambassador of Denmark, or the Danish ambassador to Ghana. Your Excellency, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm in top shape this morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Good to see you too. It's a pleasure having you here. Let's talk about this very interesting thing you're doing between the 12th and the 18th of April. Ride with Team Europe. Wow, what's that all about? What's that all about? Ride with Team Europe. I don't know who wants to go. Yes, Your Excellency, Pavel Bilek, maybe you can start.
Yeah, it's a big occasion, certainly. There is some big reason we are celebrating as a EU, as a European Union, for the 50 years we are present here in Ghana. So this is very good reason also to show and to present ourselves also this way, because there are many ways how the EU is helping here in Ghana, but we decided together with the delegation of the EU and all the member states also to present something different. So sport is certainly something which is universal, and we decided to organize this ride with Team Europe, and during the road we will present European Union as a partner who is here with you in Ghana.
I see. So the EU is 50 years. The EU has been in Ghana for 50 years. Wow, and you are marking that milestone with this interesting event, Ride with Team Europe, between the 12th and the 18th. So, Your Excellency,
This is Sporty FM.
Ambassador Linulf, how many countries are taking part? How many people from there, or how many representatives from the European Union are taking part in this Ride with Team Europe event?
So first of all, I want to say I'm very excited actually. So Pavel and I, we will have the longest stretch actually. So we will bike 168 kilometers on Monday.
Wow.
So I'm very excited by that. Of course, we do bike a lot in Denmark and in Europe. So it's a quite good initiative. It of course is showcase, the commitment that the European countries had to work and to partner up with Ghana. But it also showcase, the importance of a healthy lifestyle and taking care of the environment and all these kind of issues that are quite dear to us in Europe. So we have 7 different legs around Ghana. So we start up on Sunday, where our dear EU ambassador, he will have the first leg, and then the rest of us will follow suit until we end again in Accra. Yeah.
Wow. So I take it you are starting from the northern region. You are starting from the very top right down.
Well, not the very top. We'll start in Tamale.
In Tamale, that's northern region.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
And in 7 days you'll be cycling from one point to the other.
Then it's like a relay.
Okay.
Yeah. So the EU ambassador, he will take the first step on Sunday, and then Pavel and I we will grab the baton and do the next leg, the 160 kilometers from Buipe through King Tambo, and then end up in Techiman.
Wow, that's a journey from Buipe to Techiman. So you are going on the map. You go from right to left on the map. So you cut across from right 168 kilometers. That's the longest you've ridden. That's the longest you are ever going to ride, I'm sure.
No, it's not. I have been biking a lot of my time also on different occasions. So I have been biking a lot, but it's been a while, and I never biked that long in Accra and in Ghana, of course. And I think the temperatures here are a bit higher than in Denmark, so I need to prepare myself for that. So
I see. So how have you been getting ready? You and Ambassador Bilek, how have you been getting ready for this very exciting, exercise?
So I actually do train a lot. And just in 2 weeks from now, just 2 weeks after the bike ride, I will do a full marathon in Copenhagen. I do exercise a lot, so I'm in pretty good shape, I would say. But let's see how it goes on the bike on Monday.
Yeah, Ambassador Bilek, how are you also getting ready for that? Because Ambassador Linulf says that you guys are handling the longest stretch. So how are you getting ready?
Okay, so I'm not able certainly to run marathon. I prepared myself a little bit, but so I also used to ride a bike. But main thing also we will not make all of us a whole 170 kilometers. It's a relay, so we can share these parts of this biking ride between these 2 places. Yeah, it's quite far. Yeah, but I'm sure we will manage it, and it will be nice occasion. Certainly, you asked Also, we talked about that it's 800 kilometers.
Okay. In all, the
Ghana.
total length is
In total
800
length,
kilometers.
yeah, and we will also visit many places.
This
So
is Sporty
in
FM,
7
the
days,
voice of
we will visit 7 regions: Northern, Savannah, Bono East, Bono, Ashanti, Eastern region, and certainly Greater Accra. So it's a way how to show that EU is here. So not only in Accra.
Yeah.
People maybe think that we are working only in Accra. It's not true. Delegation of the EU and our embassies, we have many activities all over Ghana. So this is definitely not for the first time to visit these places.
Yeah.
There will be also 6 regional capitals like Tamale, Techiman, Sunyani, Kumasi, Koforidua, and Accra. I must say I have visited already all these.
Oh, you've already gone to these places before.
Either as a visitor, as a tourist, or as for business trip. So yes, it's just also to show to the public in Ghana that we are not that we do not concentrate our work and our activities only here in Accra, but we try to be all over Ghana.
You know, once you're cycling, am I to assume that you will be working with, say, the Ghana Cycling Federation? Are you partnering them? Are they providing any kind of support, technical support, advice, and on how to undertake this very long cycling exercise? Ambassador Bilek or Ambassador Linulf, anybody can answer.
I hope so. Otherwise we will be it will be a disaster on the road if no one helps us, if we fall on the bike or something like that. I'm sure we are in good hands. Let me just say, you know, I mean, one of the things I very much look forward is to explore a bit more of the countryside and the beautiful nature of Ghana. Of course, like Ambassador Pavel also just mentioned, right? We travel a lot also in Ghana, but exploring the countryside in this way on a bike, listening to the environment, to the birds, seeing the nature so close by. I mean, I hope you really are aware of what an amazing country Ghana is and how beautiful the country is. So that's part of it also. I hope there will be some attention on it, so people also in Europe will be able to see the beauty of Ghana in this way.
You mentioned the beauty of Ghana. There was something I was reading that, and you mentioned it earlier, the two of you, that you'll be doing something on sustainability. Can you give a few more details, Ambassador Linulf?
So sustainability is many things, right? And one thing is that, you know, biking instead of taking a car is actually sustainable in itself. I don't know whether you have had the opportunity to travel to Europe or particularly to Denmark, but biking is a very, very big thing where we come from. Most people will take their bike to work, and there are many advantages with that. One thing is that it's good for your own health, you stay in shape, but it's also good for the environment. I mean, less cars, fewer cars on the streets, improves the air quality and reduces also the noises in the city and so on. So raising awareness on different means of transportation is one thing. And then I would say health is also something that Denmark and Ghana work very closely on together. We see some alarming trends in Ghana and in many countries around the world when it comes to obesity and when it comes to related diseases like diabetes. So it's also
the lifestyle diseases.
So many of these lifestyle diseases. So this is also a way to raise awareness on this and try to inform in terms of how can you also stay more healthy yourself and be more careful in terms of your own lifestyle. I mean, if you have diabetes and you don't treat it properly, you will have 10 fewer years to live, and the last 10 years of your life will be very sad. You will have a lot of diseases. So raising awareness of this, of the things that you can do yourself to improve your health, and also, you know, one thing is physical exercise, another thing is your diet, right? So try to eat more healthy. stay away from fast food and enjoy the indigenous, beautiful, and very healthy vegetable fruits of Ghana, which is also good for the economy. So you don't have to import too much. You can actually eat what you already have in the country, right?
Interesting sound advice coming from His Excellency Jakob Linulf. He's the Danish ambassador to Ghana. We also have His Excellency Pavel Bilek, who's the Czech Republic's ambassador to Ghana. Raymond Yamado is still here with me. We've been joined by our regional content lead, Gary Smith. Gaza, good morning. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Doing well.
I can't see it here.
Your Excellencies, you're welcome to Sporty FM. It's an esteemed privilege to have you. This interview has been in the works for a while with your team, Smalley and Kudus as well. And we're excited to join in this initiative because, I mean, for us at the Sporty Group, sustainability is a big deal. And I mean, once we got the brief and we saw what the key pointers were and the ambition of this road cycle trip was, it was a no-brainer for us to join you, and that's why. As a lot of our listeners may know, I was in Mexico. I just landed. If you see my eyes, I'm very tired, but I had to be here for this interview as well. So thank you very much for gracing our studios, and we look forward to amplifying the message for you and with you, and in any way that we can as well. As you may know, and maybe you are so busy so you may not know directly, we have been partners with the EU on several projects, including your recent project on misinformation and disinformation as well. We were partners on that. That got a lot of eyeballs, right? And so thank you very much again for doing this, and we hope that the sustainability goals that you are chasing will be reached. It's not easy in Ghana because some of our habits when it comes to sustainability are part of the cultural fabric. But yeah, we hope that things like riding a bicycle, reducing environmental noise, reducing our carbon footprint and all that will be helping you to achieve these goals. So thank you again.
Ambassador Bilek, let's just backtrack a few, to something you said earlier, and I think Ambassador Linulf, you also mentioned that the engagement that you'll be having as you move about. Can you give us a few more details on some of the people potentially you'll be speaking with and some of the things that you'll be doing as you ride around the country?
You mean about what EU is doing?
No, I'm talking. Yes, as you go on the cycling trip, because I know you'll be engaging with some people all around the country. Who are some of the people you'll be engaging with? What will you be doing?
Part of this idea, certainly. It's sportive event, but at the same time, social event and presentation event as well. So on the way, always there will be some festive occasion when we will start. But we will also on the way meet with regional ministers, with the local chiefs, with the youth. Certainly, Ghana is a very young country, so youth is everywhere here. So this will be also used as an occasion, as I said in the beginning, present our presence here in Ghana, and when we are talking about the sustainability, one of the idea during this event will be also planting of the trees. So there is a plan of planting something around 1,000 trees in different places. So it's some gesture, and also to show that sustainability and this kind of sustainability is very, very important, because this is one of the very important activities here of the European Union, also of member states, to fight deforestation and to mitigate the negative influence of climate change.
Interesting. The EU has been in Ghana for 50 years. You've done many things, right? For those who follow the mainstream news, you find the EU doing one thing or the other in other places. Gary mentioned the thing about misinformation. We are a sports station. I'm very interested in the EU sporting relationship with Ghana over the last 50 years. What are some of the things you've done with Ghana in terms of sports in the last 50 years? Ambassador Linulf.
Well, first of all, I mean, when we bike, I hope to see you cheering on me and
Yes.
Pavel on the side of the roads, right? And I hope to see many people coming out cheering on us and celebrating this event and celebrating the relationship, which is very, very close and tight and long term between the EU and Ghana. Talking about sport, right, and the relationship, I mean, we need to mention football, right?
Of
I mean,
course.
just when we entered the studio, we heard about, you know, the Black Stars and the and the possible next coach of the Black Stars and so on, right? I mean, you won't believe it, but you know, there are so many talented Ghanaian players in Europe, and this, I mean, it's just unbelievable. If you look at the Danish First League or the Premier League in Denmark, right, there's so many Ghanaians playing there, and they contribute a lot, not only to the football but also for the Danish society. And Denmark and Ghana and EU and Ghana, you know, our joint history goes back so many years. So no matter what element of society you will look at, you will find links, and I have been very impressed ever since I've been here since August last year.
Okay.
And no matter where I go, I meet Ghanaians who have studied in Europe or lived in Europe or found a girlfriend or a boyfriend in Europe.
That part, very important.
So it's very heartwarming to see the close relationship, and I think events like the one coming up now with the bike cycling will only enforce it and make it even stronger. Right?
On a lighter note, let me ask Ambassador Bilek and you, Ambassador Linulf. Denmark are not going to the World Cup.
I knew that was coming.
Ambassador Bilek's country. Czech Republic knocked out them. Did you guys speak before, during, and after the playoff game?
You know, today was supposed to be a day of joy, right? And now you mentioned something that is a bit sensitive, right? So, no, Pavel and I, we are very good friends also before and after the match last week, right? But it was a sad day in Denmark. I think we were sort of expecting to qualify for the World Cup this time, and now we ended up not
with your golden
but
generation.
we lost to a very strong team, and I wish all the best and all the success to the team from Czech Republic. They definitely deserve to be qualified, like Ghana. And congratulations! I know you qualified a long time ago, but the Black Star will definitely do well. I'm sure.
Yeah, Ambassador Bilek, how was it like for you seeing your country qualify via the shootout, beating Denmark, and becoming part of the World Cup's 48 teams?
Yeah, certainly everybody was lucky and happy in the Czech Republic, but the qualification was very tough this time, and the last two games in the second round of the qualifications were very, very difficult. Both at the end there was a shootout, and in this situation sometimes the luckier team is winning, and I definitely cannot say that we were the better team at the game. I watched it certainly. And it was not easy. I must confess. Yeah, it was really really difficult game. We were luckier, and the whole qualification was not easy. We placed second in the qualification group, and we scandalously lost against Faroe Islands after that defeat.
Scandalously.
Coach and captain, they resigned. So this time the qualification was not easy at all. We will be playing in the World Cup again after 20 years, and I must say, last World Championship when we took place in 2006.
Are you in Ghana's group?
Yeah, in Ghana's group.
And everybody in the Czech Republic, every fan of the football is still remembering this game.
Yeah.
Because at that time we had very good team.
You are second in the world.
We're second in the
We were
world.
second in
Milan
the world.
Barros,
Yeah.
Jan
Yes.
Kola,
Pavel Nedved,
Petr Thomas
Czech,
Falusi,
goalkeeper. So we were
Petr
second in FIFA ranking
Yeah.
at the time.
The coach at the time was Karol Brockner.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And so in the qualification group there were US, you and Italy,
Italy, yeah.
and it was a shock.
Sporty FM.
When we lost 2-0 against Ghana, then you had a wonderful championship,
Sure.
champion, very good World Cup, and for us it was like the end of this generation of the players. You mentioned many of them after this championship already retired from the national team, and since then we did not have such a good team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I met here. I was lucky to meet Stephen Appiah, who was a
He was
captain
Ghana captain then.
of Ghanaian national team. So yeah, we discussed.
I mean, you are in Group A. You made it to Group A. You take on Mexico, South Africa, South Korea in the group stage. What are your expectations? Do you think the Czech Republic can make it out of this group?
I would say that we have easier group than Ghana has. But yes, okay, all the teams are very good. There is, in my view, probably none of the team is clear number one.
Sure.
So
There's a
could be
chance.
surprises. Different results can make then two teams who will qualify. Your situation is definitely much more difficult.
Yeah. That's tough. That's tough. I mean, Gary, you just came back from Mexico. I'm sure they are also prepping to receive everybody.
Yes, and I was in the city where you'll be based.
Okay.
I was in the city, so I saw the kind of infrastructure that they have, how they are getting ready for you and South Korea and South Africa as well. That's in Monterrey. You'll be in Monterrey.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a place that it's quite hot, but I mean, most of the players are professionals, and yeah, it's a very calm city. From what we hear, a lot of the teams who are in Mexico are happy to be in Mexico, because of the obvious issues that are happening up in the north as well. So, but yeah, I'm sure they will enjoy it. And if you have fans, my mission in Mexico was a diplomatic one as well too, because most people who are thinking about the World Cup and traveling to the World Cup are thinking of going to the US and Canada for obvious reasons. So my mission in Mexico was a diplomatic one to just go and see why Mexico should be an option for people too. So there'll be a series that we will air that will look at the sights and sounds of Mexico, some of the issues, and why essentially teams in Mexico are going to have a good time. And Mexico is a party nation. So yes, so I'm happy to say that your team is going to have a good time there, and if the football is good, they are going to stay there for long, Ambassador. Yeah.
Ambassador Linulf, just as we close out the World Cup conversation, Denmark didn't make it, but will you be backing any of the other Scandinavian countries?
Of course. Not only the Scandinavian, but also the European one.
Okay.
So, of course, we love football in Denmark, and of course, we will cheer on all our friends. But my favorite team will, of course, be the Black Stars, right?
I have a quick, the difference between Scandinavian and Nordic.
So Scandinavia is actually Denmark, Sweden, and Norway.
Yes.
It's a geographical term, right?
Yes.
But the Nordic countries, we normally also include our friends from Finland and Iceland.
Iceland, yeah.
Yeah.
Because some people mix the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they are not the same.
They are not the same.
I mean, we use it. I mean, we use Scandinavia sometimes. I mean, formally it means Denmark, Sweden, and Norway.
Okay.
But we also use it in a broader sense because it's just a term a group of friendly countries, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. So the April 12th to 18th, listeners, you heard Ride with Team Europe is the EU and its member states. They are hitting the road. They are cycling close to 800 kilometers. They are moving from Tamale to Accra, and it's a relay. So you have several countries handling different legs. And as Your Excellencies have indicated, his Ambassador Jakob Linulf and Ambassador Pavel Bilek, they will be handling the stretch that cuts across. So they are going from somewhere Tamale to Techiman.
Techiman, yes.
That's a very
So when
long
people
stretch.
see you because of this interview, when they see you, they are going to be waving at you. So get ready.
They better be out there supporting us, right?
Yeah. Are they allowed? Are you allowed to like get down and take selfies with people? Are you allowed to?
Yeah, of course we
you're
are.
allowed?
We
Oh,
would
that's
love to do
great.
that. Yeah, we would
Great,
love
great,
to
great,
do
great.
that.
Okay, so I'm sure people are going
Yeah.
to stop you and take some pictures.
Yeah,
Thank you.
wonderful. So 7 days, they are going through 7 regions: Northern Savannah, Bono East, Bono Ashanti, Eastern, and they will land in Greater Accra. And countries: Austria, the Czech Republic, Denmark, France, and Germany. They are the countries who will be taking part in this very, very brilliant initiative. Ride with Team Europe, happening between the 12th and the 18th of April. Let me thank our esteemed guest, His Excellency Pavel Bilek. Is the Czech Republic's ambassador to Ghana. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Wonderful. And Your Excellency Jakob Linulf, the Danish ambassador to Ghana. Thank you so much, Ambassador. And all the best as you go on this very interesting adventure. We'll be giving you all our support, and we'll bring our listeners updates on Ride with Team Europe.
Please do, and please come and cheer on us.
We'll do that. We'll cheer you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is still the Sporty Breakfast. You can send in your comments on WhatsApp 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Raymond has mentioned, we've gone through the names of the 3 Portuguese coaches rumored to be linked with the Black Stars job. Do you have a preference? Send us a WhatsApp message 054-257-1061. We'll also talk about the Champions League in a bit. Wow, it was exciting stuff yesterday. I enjoyed it. I really did. Just watching as a neutral, it was so much fun to watch. No allegiances, no loyalties. Just enjoyed 94 minutes of great football at the Santiago Bernabeu. All right, 8:30 on the dot. Let's take some calls. Give us a call 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. 030-279-4805. 030-279-4805. What are your thoughts on the 3 names linked with the Black Stars coaching job, and what did you make of the UEFA Champions League fixtures from last night? Those are the things you want to talk about. If you want to talk about something else, no problem. If you want to talk about Asante Kotoko, yesterday they got beaten by Samatex by 2-1 in the rescheduled Ghana Premier League game. So maybe that's what you want to talk about. So you can give us a call 054-257-1061. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Yo, my own time.
Yep.
Good morning, bro.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, bro, buddy.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, my shout out to Raymond and Adesode.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Charlie, yesterday, we have a good night. We enjoy football night yesterday.
Okay.
But what kind of chances are you? Why are they wasting chances like that? Yesterday, they're supposed to score like 4 goals, 5 goals. But they waste their chances a lot. Because if you are playing with Mari, you don't make those mistakes. Because if you left this 2-1, Mari can go and kill the scoreline. Because Real Madrid, if you come to Champions League, they know how to play Champions League. So if you want to kill the game for their home. They can't do anything for you. But if you do that, you go to your home, they can even hurt you there. You see, they don't play well, the other coach that they say Ghana Plaster, the coach that we did there. They say they need a standard coach, like the coach that have that experience. If you come to Africa continent, so those people that they have mentioned right now, I don't have any experience if you come to this thing, Africa continent. The other guys, the one that coach Real Madrid and school. Nowadays, Isha. Since he left the Madrid job, he's in the house. He's not doing any good work, right? If he coach any other team, since he lost the Madrid job.
Who's this?
The one that will job under Alex Ferguson.
Oh, but Carlos Queiroz coached Madrid years ago. He coached Madrid years after that. So listen, so he was working at United, went to Madrid. So he was working at United, right? Went to Madrid, came back, left Man United. He's coached other Iran, some other countries and all. So yeah, he's
Challenge. But we need a starter coach. That is not the material that we draw. We can't do anything, bro. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. Give us a call 054-257-1061. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Hello, Nathan.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Michael from
Michael, please go ahead.
By this morning, really pray person of bonfire. Well, he's in the mood, he's in the spirit.
Charlie,
man, yes, Bombs the Carlos Curious, no, Fernando Santos. Rather, but just a standard now drop you. We can't get on your booty out. Not because they are white people, most of the standards no form. As no top European country will pick Carlos Curious and make you. Fernando Santos would be an fan. Maybe Paulo Bento need the other camp of home you could here. You went to South Korea. After that, it's not an review. So I just say, but just say it's standards now drop it. I just see Eco Fast Cuties. We are kind of crank away and you got some come because I have better cookies more than we. I just say, hey, you have better cookies. I just say, maybe who say these three coaches need their Charlie. And I don't necessarily be able to. We have players who are young. If you see a coach, I'm betting you man anti. But as for some years, Osha Carlos was 71, Osha Fernando Santos more than 73 years. How many years between your coach? Because when the Stiama who was some more on family young age, I was seeing your coach obey me. I guide you through about 5 years. What I say, 7 years or better build the BB. Now, Obi about building the near that BB man on to take you over. But then some few years to come, Carlos Closobes Oscar Washington Tabares owns means and national ground coach. That's I say. And she made to me there, me say, like they have passed their prime. Because last night to say, it does say Raymond and Obisa, I don't know, but no, I say, heavy Renard are passing the prime. Now, heavy Renard are passing the prime, Carlos Curious is passing the prime. That's I say. And I say Fernando Santos is passing the prime. And she made the standards now drop you. That three coaches will be on man. Chance kakra Paulo Bento. That I say, hey, or not maybe I like the man chance kakra. And again, once the day I've been talking about Ghana Premier League, Asante Kotoko in House of Food. Yesterday, Kotoko had the chance to close the gap. It was sure, but once Makobon Shoka. So, Oak had the last time a House of Food. And the Kotoko, that's me. They don't be so. We need 3 matches in a row, consistency. Okay.
Why Hearts of Oak?
And Kotoko,
Hearts of Oak. The last time Hearts of Oak winning match was 15th February.
You understand? And I feel about the renew. A big club like House of Oak, and it's not only in Ghana.
Oh yeah, of course.
On the African continent, we need 3 matches. They say Ghana Premier League, so we need 4 matches in a row for that. What I say, even Crampus, so 11 wonders are relegation area. Any team apart from 11 wonders, hope we need 4 matches in a row. Now we are better. But I think the consistency and the how because me Babayara or home grounds. Ya bomb match in Swat or Aquadrin. Now that's here, or by a service 2-1. Now, let no person on the other person on your day. You understand? It's generally a problem. You got to has some community, not almost your year. By some colleague and commercial because media match fundable. Go start and so you're on and off. And I experienced a digital million more since our 2 teams. What I said, but then consistency. And home. And then grand it was bound to happen. And then maybe should game against Madrid. Madrid never match no. Company or Yijimapa. Opini Madrid for no. It pinned them into no almost breathing space. But then I was uncommon taking my chances because Madrid no. So Buna Bulukunu. You hear me now, Papa. What I say. Because on the champions in the Madrid, you don't know our way, you don't know whom. Or no baby obey to cause danger. What I think it's 2-1 a year, but then on to say be a mobile Alliance Arena, Bayern Munich take their first goal, second goal. Now I say they are Madrid Babetia, and some I mean now come say, oh, okay, say they are true. But until that's not there, still now Madrid no technically near out because Champions League, but maybe Champions League, Madrid no a different animal. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Michael. Let me take my other caller. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Nathan. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Nathan, today I'm calling you from Medina Social Welfare.
Otumfo from Medina Social Welfare. I see.
Nathan.
Let's go.
So, Nathan, you know me.
Sorry?
Haven't you missed me, Nathan?
Yes, I haven't heard from you in a while. I was wondering where you were.
Nathan, I've been missing Sporty breakfast because my car has broke down.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I'm still trying to fix it. You know, it's the engine, so you can imagine.
Charlie.
Yeah. You know, joining public transport, you can't control what you want.
Of course.
You know, Nathan, like I think Michael has said everything that I also wanted to say. You know, I called him because I missed you guys, and you know, Nathan, imagine. I saw the goal Kotoko considered yesterday. Telling you, Nathan, defend the team you had about three or four Kotoko defenders were close to this guy, and they were standing very idle. None of them even had the intention of closing the guy. It was a three-header, like, oh God, Nathan. I hardly see this in football. You hardly see this in football. See, the guy stood there, raised his hand, and waited for some seconds before the ball came. And Nathan, this Kotoko, oh God, Nathan, this boys you see in the Kotoko jersey, none of them deserve to play for Kotoko. None of them, like, not even the captain. Nathan.
Oh,
okay, Nathan. Nathan, what
for there now? Okay.
Oh, Nathan, why do you think Ghanaian clubs are underperforming?
I agree with you that there's a quality problem somewhere. There is a quality
Nathan,
problem.
The funny thing is that players from places like Somalia, Zimbabwe are rather thriving on African stage just because they are doing the basic things very right. They are applying the more like I think the basics of modern day football. Yes, when the ball
This is Sporty FM, the voice of sports.
Nathan, we shouldn't forget that.
Okay.
Modern day football has like a system.
Yeah.
You know, coaches are playing with a system now. So the moment you're a player, you think you have this individual brilliance, and you always want to when the ball be run after now. What you try to defend it with stuff why you know. Charlie. Nathan, Ghana football, the Ghana league. See, Nathan, after yesterday, I told myself I'm not going to watch Ghana league again. Oh, Nathan, Kai.
You're not going to watch the Ghanaian league again?
I'm not going to watch the Ghanaian league again, Nathan. It's just a waste of time and sometimes my bundle. Because sometimes, you know, I'm far away from town and I have to be watching it via my mobile phone and everything. But Nathan, I'm not going to waste my bundle on Ghana.
Oh, yeah, you have to watch Ghana.
Oh, yeah. The standard has really dropped to Nathan, not like maybe about 50% drop. I dropped it to like 30%, Nathan.
Okay.
You watch Ghana League and you don't see any quality and sorry, Nathan. I'm going to be Nathan.
Boko.
I can't stop supporting Kotoko, but the Ghana League, I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, but so you have to watch Kotoko and then watch the other matches too.
No.
So how will you support Kotoko when you don't watch them?
Like, for the coach, the least said about him, the better, Nathan. For the coach, now the only thing they make for coaching, Nathan.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
I'm online.
Okay.
I'm online, you know what you
All right. Thank you so much. 8:42. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. You can send in your WhatsApp messages. What did you make of last night's UEFA Champions League matches? What are your thoughts on the 3 Portuguese names linked with the Black Stars job? Let me take this caller. Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, this is Aviator Pilot speaking from Satellite.
What is the name again?
Aviator Pilot.
Aviator Pilot. Hey, Ray.
Wait. Is it the aviator we know?
The one you know.
Hey. Anyway, aviator pilot, please, let's hear from you.
All right. So then my greetings to Pastor Raymond.
Okay. Are you a pastor? Raymond, are you a pastor? I say amen. You are not serious.
For the blessings he showered upon us this morning. And may God also bless him also and entire Sporting FM workers.
Amen. Amen.
Charlie, Ghana should not make any mistake again. Like,
Sporty FM.
those 3 players, what I heard this morning.
Which players?
And those, sorry, those coaches.
Okay, all right.
Like, say they are the same. They are like they are like Otoado, and there is no any difference. Charlie, we should not make any mistake again. And that's for me. I'm not happy with those coaches.
Okay.
They are not good. They are not good coaches that we can replace them with Otoado.
Okay.
But yesterday I was hearing some news and I don't believe it. I want Sporting FM to confirm it. And there's some Kotoko supporters were fighting with the players.
Supporters were fighting with players.
They said they will not allow them to send the bus that they sent to the stadium.
The stadium, okay.
They are not going to take that bus back, and some of the players were also insulted the supporters. So I don't understand it.
Okay.
I want more updates.
Okay. All right. No, we'll give you updates. Kelvin is here. Kelvin was in Kumasi, so he saw a lot of. All right. Thank you. We'll bring in other callers. Kelvin, so just prep your answer for the guy. Sure. We'll take the answer. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Hello, Nathan.
Yes.
Nathan, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
My name is Jones, calling from airport.
All right, please go ahead.
Nathan, could I continue the Nathan go? Nathan, go.
Hey.
They are 2 for Nathan, we're supporting 100%.
Hey, Egu says
100%, Nathan. Nathan.
How has the Kotoko team collapsed?
Oh, Nathan, this team, Nathan is collapsed. Nathan, Kotoko power players never was, Nathan. You see, yesterday I was watching the match until I feel very sad. Kotoko team, Nathan. Nathan, I see time I school was Santima, Nathan. You can free school, I go training ground. Then I'm not just tell them, I India, no, Nathan. Me say, one time, no, Nathan, me quiet, no. Then I was just area on a way, a soldier for us, Nathan. Omuka, Adoma, Nathan, we read the entire whole part.
Hello. Oh, I think we lost this caller. 054-257-1061. Let me take this caller. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. Hello.
Yeah. Good morning, Nathan.
Yes, good morning.
When you don't run a proper football team,
Emmanuel, where are you calling from? Where are you calling from? Emmanuel, where are you calling from this morning?
This morning. I'm on the road. You see me, Charlie, I'm a busy guy, so I don't stay one place.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm always on the road, Charlie.
Okay. No
you have to fight for the family. So.
Okay.
You see, what the guy said is very, very true. The supporters didn't allow the players into the back. You are fighting with the players. Charlie, in which country will you see this? When you don't run the proper league, this is what will happen. Like the players and the supporters were insulting themselves on the. This is a professional league. This is a professional league. Charlie, what is going on? See, if you see some of the videos saying, Charlie, you'll be very, very shy for Ghana. It's total mess. Like the players were insulting them, like they're doing the middle fingers to the supporters. And Charlie, when you see that the video saying, Nathan, Charlie, Gavin is there. Charlie, very, very, very bad. Charlie, I saw some of the videos and I was like, wow, Charlie, Ghana Premier League, yeah, dear girl, come on. You see, when I say this, we are not doing football, you don't agree with me. When I say we are playing in this country, you say, why am I saying that? But the truth is,
No, whenever you said I don't decide. When you say, "Oh, we are playing," I only want you to explain your points. That is all.
But these are some of the points. That supporters are not allowing players to enter their bases. They are telling the players they should walk from the stadium to their houses. That's what they are saying. Charlie, after the let's leave them. After the coaching, Charlie, these old men, who are they taking us to? 73, 71. Also, and
those are the names that have appeared. They are handling the team for, I think, just for the World Cup, and then they will decide on.
We don't need this. We don't need a coach that after World Cup you are going to do another research again with it. No, that makes sense. So we take this people to the World Cup, and what happens next?
Yeah, so we'll find a new coach.
Now, what kind of senseless things are we doing in this country? No. These football people, do they think that they are the only people who know football in this country? Like, they don't even listen to anybody. See, we are having 500,000 pending money that I have to pay to Adu. This money is not coming from the FA. We are using the taxpayers' money to pay this money. So, they shouldn't joke with us over there. They shouldn't see this time when we wake up and we are throwing all of them from the FA. You know, this demonstration that the journalists you guys did. I want to be even worse. So. See, I want to be even worse. Because I don't know what they want to do with the Ghana football. I don't know what they are trying to do. I don't know what Get is trying to do. These ESCO members, they are a problem. They are a problem. The people who are hiring the coaches for Ghana are problems because they don't even know what they want.
Okay.
They don't know what they want. They are appointed. See, look at our last 5 appointments as a coach. As a country, look at our last 5 appointments and tell me what sense does it make?
The last 5 appointments. So last 5 appointments. Who? Let me see. CK, Milo, Otto 1, Chris Houghton, and then Otto 2.
We hear the bubble.
Okay. Emmanuel, let me bring other callers in. Thank you so much. It's 10 minutes to 9. Kelvin, what is this that 2 callers have said the same thing, that Kotoko fans didn't allow the players to leave? What was the situation?
Well, yesterday after the game, Kotoko lost 2-1. The fans were angry. They felt that the players were not performing at top levels, and they demanded an explanation. I think they are trying to act like what the Ultras have been doing. You remember the last time AC Milan, even France, Paris Saint-Germain, and other clubs had to explain Marseille. You have to explain to the fans why this performance, and you got to a point some had to, captains had to step in to apologize and all that. So I think it had gotten to that level, but thanks to a couple of management and supporters leaders, they managed to allow the team to talk to the supporters, and they gave way. It was quite surprising that is supposed to be the safe zone. I'll blame security, because if you put barricades all around and then fans can get close to the bus, it raises lots of questions, because I've seen that barricade be put up and then against the police, and everybody would be in. The players will only come from the dressing room, get into where it was supposed to be the mix zone, but now it's not being used, and then they get into the bus easily. So, but luckily they managed to allow the boys into the bus. But what happened was some of the fans were insulting the players. It went personal. And I think that if you insult players that, it's fine. But when it moves beyond to their family members and all that, it starts getting personal, including the famous, the famous mother insults, inclusive. And some of the players, obviously, they'll react because they hold their parents dear. So that was what actually happened. You said,
okay, you hold on. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
I'm Stephen, calling from Adum Kumasi.
All right, please go ahead.
Okay, so thank you for your good work. Earlier on, I left my radio, so I made the end part of your conversation you earlier had with the ambassadors.
Yes.
So like kindly summarize it for me a bit later. Then my second point
is
about the coaches, the remote this thing. In fact, they have very good experiences, but I think their current performance is not encouraging. And looking at the last our situation now, or Ghana situation now, but I don't think say a good you prefer any of them. Honestly speaking, because although for the experience it is very good. And when you compare the experience they have as compared to that of coach Otto, that means they are far ahead of Otto, but their current performance is not encouraging.
Okay.
Seriously, it's not encouraging.
Okay.
And my last point, yesterday I heard someone saying Kotoko coach commented that it was obvious that they will lose that match. I don't know how true that statement was. So kindly, do this and I don't know.
Okay, so was the comment made before the game or after the game?
No, after the game. After the game, sure. That it was obvious that like they would, and I don't. In fact, if Papa as a coach didn't be announced to me, as I said, it was obvious because you played the match and you had a chance to go and sleep and come and continue on the following day, and you couldn't do anything to sorry.
Okay.
There's a coach in the Putinika there, but in all, Kotoko I perform too much. Honestly speaking, serious, I perform too much. Okay. It's normal that normal say team ever call into heydays and for that one it's normal. But the state of Kotoko right now is not.
It's not good at all.
And the league in general has deteriorated. League Nankasa perform to be honest. Above form. And as it started when Mondays when we sit by our television to watch sports highlight from our own the writer Kodoya. You know, 8:30. I remember that program not started 8. It was a good local news now. Then in interest, you know, go say be a better 8:30 now. Wow, highlight. That's where the whole thing started from. I remember.
Okay.
Early 2000s and sports highlight was a local league. And now we go from to our basic schools. So it's not easy. You should say sports not say cry. I say cry. So we have to focus at the grassroots.
Okay.
Because it's very pathetic. The Ghana sports doesn't have future. It pains you. It pains, man, because be a football coach is here. It's a business, and it's a big opportunity for some of us.
Okay.
But Ghana in any year.
This is Sporty FM,
very pathetic.
the voice of sport.
Serious.
All right. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll put a pause on the calls. Kelvin, so you were explaining what was happening at what happened at the Baba Yara Stadium.
So just after they settled and the players were moving into the, some of the fans were insulting the players, going direct, personal. I think that if it's personal, like what's the players take a date, but to go beyond insulting their families, their wives, their parents, and all that. Some of the players, decided to reply, and it's you cannot push someone to the wall and determine how the person bounces off or reacts. So, the players just had to get into those kind of exchanges. In as much as some of the fans weren't pleased, some of them were in agreement that you cannot get that far and expect them not to react. So that was what actually happened there. I think that it's high time fans get to know that decorum is very much important. You can boo players, you can hoot at them for poor performances, you can say they are not doing well, they should big up and all that. But when it gets to that extreme, I don't think it helps anyone, because you are supposed to be the one who push them in their difficult time. A lot of us think that yes, the Kotoko team, there are some players who can actually do better, they can do more. We think that yes, technically and tactically there are lapses, they are not up there. Prince Owusu may not be the best manager or tactician for them at the moment, but you can't go directly at the players in that negative manner. It doesn't help anyone. But for the players themselves, just like we always see, footballers and their money, they don't joke with it. When they want to win a game and get their winning bonus, nobody will tell you that for 4 matches or 5 matches or 3 matches you are not getting a winning bonus. It's not going to affect you. It's definitely going to affect your budget. So they also want to win and get the money. Maybe there needs to be some extra motivation, which we've always also spoken about. The Black Stars. You think that they don't want to win matches to get bonuses? They want to do so. But if there is no proper coaching and motivation and inspiration from the one who leads, things are not going to go smooth. So that was what transpired at the Baba Sports Stadium. The fans, insulted the players, and then some of them had to, react in equal measure.
The caller was talking about Prince Yawusu's comments post-game. I've heard snippets of it. I can't seem to confirm this bit where he said it was obvious Kotoko would lose, but I have to see if I can get the full press conference.
Yeah, we'll try and get that, because we also saw that post. I think I chanced across that post just a couple of minutes ago. Yeah, I left the stadium before they finished the post game conference and all that. And then it's quite surprising. Well, wait to see what actually happens going forward.
But let me ask you, how did Kotoko lose that game? How did they lose that game? What went wrong for them in the rescheduled game? Because it was goalless on Sunday, and then the rains kicked in.
It was goalless. Yes, it was goalless. All right, but Nathan, Samatex were on top, in as much as maybe they were just slightly on top, but the most dangerous opportunities they created them, and had to take Aziz Diary pulling away Abdul Latif's drive, and then pushing Ajanim Boateng's strike off the crossbar, all in the 45 minutes. The closest Kotoko came was when Albert Amwa had that acrobatic touch trying to beat goalkeeper Zachary, who was out of his goalkeeper's area. So I think that there's tactically what Christopher Enin did was to just stifle Kotoko's most creative players. That is Hubert Jau and then Baba Yaya. Because Samatex have arguably two of the best laterals in the country. Isaac Affle, once upon a time, he joined the Black Stars. And then they have Samuel Tete, brilliant right back. If he had stayed focused, he's also one of the players who needs a lot of control to keep his head, in check. And this season, when he decided to take over that role, he's just been brilliant. So it was quite difficult for Inusa on the left-hand side of Kotoko's attack and Peter Amidu on the right-hand side to go through the flanks. And we know that Peter Amidu is one of Kotoko's greatest weapons when they want to build attacks. So he stopped them, which means now Kotoko would have to depend on Baba Yaya and then Hubert Jau. And you can only get the best out of Hubert Jau when he is in the final third of the pitch in the central attacking midfield positions. But what Samatex did was he played Abdul Latif, he played Sameche, and he played there's this guy who is just keeping me. Akwesi Sapong. All these are very good, robust, box-to-box midfielders who can just create that triangle to prevent you from running smoothly through. So what they did was to push Hubert Jau out of the main action areas that could cause problems, because they know that once you give Albert Amwa that opportunity, he was going to score. So Kotoko were forced to push the ball onto the right and left-hand side of their wings, where Patrick Esiedu and then Emmanuel Kote decided to search upfield, and they had to cross the ball. And if you are crossing the ball and it's Roland Grapeman, that is Raymond's brother, and then Kofi Agbeshima, aerially, you won't beat them. And that has been the style of Prince Owusu. Remember the Super Clash when Kotoko had to were down by 10 men. They decided to cross the ball almost about 50 minutes of it, and nothing came out. And you don't expect Albert Amwa to win any header pass Kofi Agbeshima or Roland. So what happened was, now Samatex having those scraps off the headers and then the attacks. Search forward through Ajeni Boateng, and then Mankuyeli had a very good day against Hamzata, and then Samba O'Neill. So all they did was to just get the ball in the crucial positions. And Francis Jetua and then, Ajeni Boateng were just giving Kotoko's laterals a hell of a time. And Samuel Tete, in as much as he was performing his defensive duties, he was getting into crucial areas. And I think one of the best wingers we have in the league is Ajeni Boateng, or outside forward. When he picks the ball, he's very much direct. Former, Kumasi High School, boy. He's very much direct. He comes at you with the ball. He knows how to dribble. Mankuyeli with his experience and strength. Francis Jetua with his movement around, causing, problems for the Kotoko team. So in the first half, just after the first half, anyone who was at the stadium was like, if anyone was to score, it had to be Samatex. But thanks to the brilliance of Aziz Dari and prevented them. So when Kotoko came into the rescheduled game, they made changes. Now they brought on Morifin Donzo. And they brought on Dogo Yakubu.
Okay.
And that was freedom for Samatex, because Morifin Donzo means Albert Amwa is going to play from the flanks.
Wide, yes.
And then Dogo Yakubu also. And now Dogo is not Peter Amidu. Albert may be better than Inusa, but he will come more central, which means Samatex can now push their laterals a bit more forward. And if Kofi Abesima has to deal with Morifin Donzo, who is not Albert Amwa with skill, all he has to do is to just battle him with strength. Yeah. Because he doesn't have exactly the footwork, a movement to outwit him. Yes. So now Samatex had more numbers and they pushed the game to Kotoko, and you could see all the goals came from the lateral area. Samuel just crossing the ball, Ajeni Boateng, brilliant header, and then Emmanuel Mama came off the bench, got himself in a good position. That cross also went through, and then he just stuck home. Kotoko got a penalty. Samba missed, and then the rebound Albert Thomas. So Christopher Henning clearly knew, understood the game. And after the game, his post-match conference, he was like, "Yes, I knew I had to just frustrate Kotoko. If you frustrate Kotoko, they just give the ball away easily, and they meaning giving the ball away easily means that they were going to cross the ball to you. Once they cross the ball to you, it was going to be quite easy for them to repel those attacks and then hit on the break. So it was quite an easy, game for how do we call it? Christopher Henning and Samatex to just get the overloads better than Kotoko and then hit on the counter breaks to them, and they managed to perform. So tactically, I think that Samatex won the game from their bench, and Kotoko lost it from Prince Yaos. And even his statements, if true, then it clearly speaks volumes of how poor and disappointing the Porcupines were.
Well, we'll have to wait and see where they go from here, but it was a very, very disappointing loss from an Asante Kotoko perspective, losing 2-1 at home to Samatex. Coincidentally, it was Samatex's first ever win in Kumasi against Asante Kotoko ever since they came into the league. Right, they had been trying to get this win. It wasn't happening. Kotoko had always beaten Samatex, or at least stayed unbeaten against Samatex in the Ghana Premier League. 6 minutes after 9. More comments are welcome. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast. League. Let's talk some UEFA Champions League. Very, very, very interesting stuff. Let's start off Let's start off with Sporting CP taking on Arsenal. Sporting CP taking on Arsenal. Kai Havertz getting the late winner to give Arsenal a first leg win in the quarterfinals.
Martinelli wanted to use this extra 2 minutes. A lovely ball through, and they've got the goal at the end. Kai Havertz, the scorer of big goals in big games, arrives on the scene, keeps
One 1-0 first leg win in the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals. Yesterday in the afternoon, I was here chatting with my colleagues. It was lunchtime when we were talking, and Eustace Niakwe Nami, he said that Arsenal were going to win.
People pay to
Yeah, people pay.
Yeah.
Ray, your thoughts on this? Arsenal winning by a goal to nil. Kai Havertz getting the late winner.
It was a game that I expected Sporting CP to win. So I was expecting a narrow win for Sporting CP. Of course, they didn't change too much. It was the same Katamo, Trincao, Goncalves, Suarez up front. I think for most of their very strong players, especially the front four, I think they didn't have a very, very good game. Suarez, Trincao, Goncalves especially, it didn't really happen for them on match day. But I think that we should give credit to David Raya, because Raya's XG in terms of goals prevented was 1.57, so he prevented almost 2 goals in that game.
Okay.
Made 5 very crucial stops in that game, and for me, I think that he kept Arsenal in the game most part of that game, because Sporting CP had some very, very good chances, and he stood between them and victory in that game yesterday. I think for us now to look at this game and say we did the most important thing. We didn't lose.
Mm-hmm.
We at least won that first leg. Gives them a bit of cushion going into the second leg.
Yeah.
But I think that yesterday, again, we saw Arsenal's defensive solidity tested. They were asked lots of questions there. Again, they answered. Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard were very good. And Odegaard, because of game time, because of his return to injury, his game time has been managed a bit, and so he was taken off in the 70th minute. Havertz came in and he became the match winner eventually. And so Arsenal do have depth in squad, especially playing in the Champions League. I mean, in terms of their opponents, they obviously have a better bench than Sporting CP and the likes. They have players who can come in and make a difference. You have he still had so you look at the goal itself. It was cooked by 2 substitutes. So Martinelli came on in the second half. Kai Havertz also came on in the second half, and the 2 substitutes combined to give us now that victory. Clearly telling you, and they have some good players in there. And I'm a bit disappointed for Sporting CP, but in games like this, if you've done the business by concentrating for 90 minutes, I mean, even in extra time, in added on time, you still need to keep that focus. You still need to keep that concentration, and they paid for it. They were made to pay for that lapse in concentration. It makes the return leg a very, very difficult one for them, especially seeing them play in the Champions League this season and how they've not done well at home. It makes it look like Sporting may just be kissing the competition bye-bye at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see how they go to Emirates and beat us now.
Yeah.
Okay, and I mean, if they have to beat us now, it has to be by a two clear goal margin. That stuff. If they get a 1 goal margin, it goes into extra
just
time.
levels the game.
I mean, it's hard to see them go and do their job, especially on the back of how we saw Bodo Glimt dismantle them away from home. So I think that Arsenal look good value to progress into the semi-finals. And yesterday, They made sure they did a very
This
simple
is
thing.
Sporty FM.
Just make
the
sure
voice
Sporting
of
don't get
sport.
it. They kept them happy.
Okay.
They got their goal. And they have 1 foot in the semis.
Well, let me bring Kelvin. Before that, Michael Asabredu is joining us. Michael, hi, good morning.
Good morning, Nathan. Good morning, guys.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How about you?
Yes, we are fine. Did it rain in Kumasi this morning? It rained here.
Yep. It did. Heavy rain.
Hey!
It was heavy downpour.
Wow.
But strong winds as well.
Strong winds as well. Wow.
And
Interesting.
it's a weather that will be highly beneficial to the married ones. But the Suja 4 will be very much concerned.
They will be very concerned. Don't worry. The good Lord will open doors unto them.
Amen.
Raymond, what is it?
Oh, no. I'm just greeting Michael.
You are just greeting Michael. Say hi. Michael is on the line.
Michael, how you doing?
Oh, Raymond, I'm good.
Yeah. A bit of update for you on the Portuguese job.
Michael, before we sign out, I'll take your thoughts on that. But anyway, you just let me bring in Kelvin. Kelvin, Arsenal getting themselves a win last night. It wasn't the prettiest of performances, you have to admit. But ultimately, in the end, Kai Havertz was there to give Arsenal a 1-0 win from the first leg.
Well, that is how the team has been performing, and now set pieces, which Arsenal used to, you actually open the doors very early in games, or when games get crucial and they get a set pieces, corner kicks, and they convert to open up, teams to play. It's not happening for them as it used to be. So yesterday, even before the game, there was one fan account which the Sporting Lisbon account went to reply that, Corner FC, you are not getting any corners tonight, and it could clearly tell you that now teams are figuring out what Arteta used to do. You cannot play one similar style the entire season, and not expect that you are going to drop at a point, and that is what teams are getting better from Arsenal. Yesterday, Martin Odegaard came on. You were expecting that he was going to plunge a lot more balls through for Victor Gyökeres. There were a number of times that I think that he could have made simple passes, but because the team has played in a certain way, I think that the saying goes, you are what you repeatedly do, because they've been going lateral and not linear. When he gets the ball, he's always thinking lateral. Where do I go? Right hand side. Yeah. Come back into midfield, leave it for. And Arteta's game plan is so cautious and very highly meticulous that you don't rush the ball. So if you look at Arsenal yesterday, there were moments Declan Rice picked up the ball. On any day, you expect that the turnover will be quicker. But he spends some time on the ball, gets the ball back into the defense, either the goalkeeper or the centre backs, and then they do well to just build up again. And I think that it's something that many people are expressing concern with regards to Arsenal's creativity, including Thierry Henry. Yesterday after the game was expressing concern. He doesn't understand why Arsenal is failing to do or to be creative enough. You saw Max Doman come on, and he's the one who actually pushes the game a lot more. His close control creates, lots of opportunities, fouling and all that. And I think that is an area Arsenal need to get better. For a team that is the best mid-block team in the whole of Europe, I expect them to also find a way, because if you know what to do to stop teams from breaking that mid-block, or setting up a mid-block that is difficult for teams to break, then you must have creators up front who would also do the same on the opposite side of the field. You may draw games and may not be able to win, or teams may score. You never know. Sporting had decent opportunities. David Raya was the difference between Arsenal winning that game or possibly getting a draw and then Sporting winning. Look at the saves he had. Yes, many mentioned Manuel Neuer all night, but 8.9 rating tells you how significant and crucial he was in the game. That parrying of the ball, of the crossbar, the goal line saves and all that. So it's high time maybe Arteta quickly rethinks about his style and how the team is performing, because you may get to certain stages of the Champions League. After this stage, you get into a crucial semi-final, just like last season it happened. And once teams just figure out your game plan and they are able to, stop it or halt it, it becomes difficult. But I think that it's a good step for Arsenal like they always say, you don't have to always win it beautifully. There are times it has to be scrappy. You need to muddle through.
Yeah.
And I think that it was perfect. Credit to William Saliba. Many talk about Gabriel, but I think that in the last 5 games, Saliba has been quite a very cool head, and Declan Rice is also giving something good at Arsenal. Okay. Maybe by the time of the return leg next week, the likes of Eberechi as Julian Timber may add up to the force, and then Arsenal can have improved numbers or improved players up the field to help. But I think that there was also quite a decent performance from Ricardo Calafiori on the night to help Arsenal defend well. Sporting will be missing the services of their striker Luis Suarez on the return, and that is a very, very big boost for Arsenal because he will not be disturbing the defense with he's very much stubborn. Yesterday he really gave Gabriel and Saliba a lot of work to do, and knowing that he's going to miss the second leg, any coach will be happy that yes, Luis Suarez is going to miss out on that return leg. But Morita also did something good. I think that he was quite excellent on the night. That central midfielder wearing the number 5 shirt, Morita, he did something good. So we'll wait to see how the second leg goes. But I think that Arsenal have a step in the semi-finals of the Champions League, and they've managed to help England win, or stay up. Yes, stay up with the 5 slots. So now Spain and the others will have to battle for the rest. But Spain also look increasingly good. So this evening, if Atleti and then Barca, I'm sure that any one of them who manages to make that progression, and if Real Madrid also manage to make the progression, then it means that they also keep it. But Bundesliga also having a good shout to claim that slot as well, because the Italians are out of the competition.
So, talking about that, let's talk about the other game. The game everybody had their attention on. Almost everybody had their attention on. Real Madrid 1, Bayern Munich 2. Very, very interesting stuff there. Harry Kane giving Bayern Munich that second goal. For those who missed out, here is a taster of the Harry Kane moments from last night.
Get the action going again. We'll want to get Vinicius Junior and Kylian Mbappe on the ball as much as they can this half, but it's keeping the ball that's a problem straight away. It's Elise up against Howson and teeing up Kane, and Kane scores! Dead eye! It's his first shot of the night.
Behind the television, and I said, Charlie, this could potentially be the Black Stars.
And these are zones he will consistently find himself, especially in a team that has a very loose midfield and a very weak defense. Yeah.
With Benjamin Asari, okay, but I want to talk about Michael Olise, okay, and that I'm just going to talk about Olise and then I leave Michael and Kelvin to do the rest. Look, Nathan, if Michael Olise were playing in La Liga or in the Premier League, I am sure if you are drawing a Ballon d'Or shortlist, his name would have been on top by now.
Yeah.
His numbers this season have been good.
Yeah,
in the Bundesliga,
numbers.
he scored 11, provided 18 assists. In the Champions League, he scored 3, provided 7 assists. These are Ballon d'Or winning numbers, and it's on the verge of winning the Bundesliga. I'm sure the DFB Pokal trophy would come in there somewhere. I'm sure even Champions League, looking at how they are going, they could possibly end up in the semi-finals or possibly go all the way. I mean, he's one player who's been in fine form this season, and I think it even started from last season. Last season, for the German Bundesliga, he finished with 12 goals and 17 assists. So in the last 2 seasons where he's been up high, he's been very consistent, and this is Ballon d'Or winning performances, and he's doing the same for France as well. For his national team. So if France go all the way at the World Cup, again, that's credit in his bank as far as the Ballon d'Or conversation would go. Last season, around this time, we're already talking about Dembele, we're already talking about Rafinha, we're already talking about Lamine Yamal and all. But it looks like the world has gone quiet on Olise.
Yeah.
But the guy is doing, he's doing so
Olise,
well.
Kelvin, look,
Yeah.
we all saw him at Palace, right? I never knew he had this, like he could get to this level.
Yeah.
And he's so flexible tactically. He can do different things on the ball, ask different kinds of questions, right?
Yeah.
He's a threat wide, threat through the middle, brilliant partner for your striker. He's just a delight to watch, and I enjoyed him last night. Carreras didn't.
No.
You regret playing him.
Carreras didn't at all, because from minute 1 to when Olise went off, it was a
hell of a
nightmare
time.
for Abel Carreras. He had a torrid time dealing with him, right? And all, but
I hope he has a good World Cup.
I hope, because you see, this, you're right. Look, if France make it as far as, say, the semis or final,
and he's that player,
and maybe they even win the World Cup, and it is Olise who powers them there.
Absolutely.
I think he backs Ballon d'Or.
Straight up.
No doubts about that. Let me bring back Michael. Michael, can you hear me?
Yeah, but I can hear you.
Yes. We got Michael on the other line. Michael, let's talk about the other game. Real Madrid won Bayern Munich. It was the game everybody wanted to see. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know if you enjoyed it, but it was a fun game to watch.
Yeah, I did. I think it was a beautiful game. What Pep Guardiola read us off was given us by Vincent Kompany. He got his selection spot on, and I think he's already fashioned out how this Bayern team can best utilize their individual strengths, piece it together, make it a collective strength, and then play with that identity to bring the best out of it. After the game, he was asked the question how he prepared for this game and how he set up his team. And he said he wasn't going to bore anyone with deep tactical analysis. It was just about players enjoying freedom on the field of play. He believes in the individual qualities, the technical abilities that these players possess. But he feels that they have earned his trust to the extent that in games like this, he wasn't going to restrict them with tactics, with roles, what you have to do. He was just going to allow them the freedom to operate on the field of play. Yes, there will be a structure they will operate with. There will be certain principles of the game they need to embrace. But primarily or fundamentally, their play will be hinged on freedom of movement. So at a point in time, I was very disturbed with how the likes of Jonathan Tah, Dayot Upamecano could move to certain areas of the pitch, especially when you are playing against very pacey attackers who need space to hurt you, like Vini Jr., like Mbappe. But they were free to move around, and then they risked it. In instances like this, not a lot of managers will want to risk it. They will want to make sure everything is intact. But with what Vincent Kompany did, he allowed his players that freedom of movement. And I think it brought the best out of them. It was a great, great game. It wasn't a game that, yes, Bayern controlled large parts of this match. But I think Madrid also had their chances. And but for some excellent saves from Manuel Neuer, I think it should have been Madrid who should have taken the lead in the game. Bayern showed, but for poor finishing, one from Dayot Upamecano, the likes of Serge Gnabry, they had very clear opportunities to take the lead, but they spent it. And it looked like it was Madrid who actually were about to flip the script and then make it look like it was going to be their day, because what Bayern had to play against was Real Madrid, but in two folds. Real Madrid as an institution and then Real Madrid as a team. Now, the difficulty here is that if you start games against such teams, and then in the opening exchanges, you are starting to get chances, and you fail to bury them, then you are battling it in your head that, is it going to be our day? You start asking yourself questions. You start doubting. That is the institution, because you know that it's part of Real Madrid's DNA, that they steal moments, they seize it, and then they make it their own. So with Bayern missing those chances, those were the questions that were going on in my head, that is it going to be one of those days where Bayern will miss a ton of chances and Madrid just gets one or two, and then they punish Bayern for it? And it was looking like that. because the chances were starting to come for each team. Bayern had the lion's share of the chances in the first 10 minutes. Then Madrid settled, started to have openings. Vini Jr. having shots, Mbappe having shots. So clearly it pointed towards that. But I love the resolve of Bayern. They did not break, they did not quiver. They felt they still needed to do what they were doing and be consistent at it. And I think eventually the goal came. I even think that one of the goal scorers, Luis Diaz, he did not have a solid game per his standard. This season, he's been one of their brightest spots. And I think the best game he has played this season was in the Champions League against Paris Saint-Germain. He even got a red card, but he applied himself fully. I did not see that kind of aggression, intensity from Luis Diaz yesterday. But even with that, he managed to get a goal. Harry Kane had just returned from injury. You could tell that he wasn't clearly sharp. In the first half, in the first 30 minutes or so, he was basically out of the game. He was trying to impose himself, but it wasn't just working.
Sporty FM,
but
the voice of
at the
sport.
crucial moment, he played a part in working out the goal, and an excellent pass from Serge Gnabry. Luis Diaz made that run, and then he converted. It looked like Bayern wanted to score from close range, and so all their chances were worked within the penalty box, and then getting the final player to be in an area where he doesn't need to take any shots. He just needs to pass the ball into the net, and you are good to go. I think it was excellent teamwork from Bayern. And for Madrid, it was about their individual qualities, pulling them out. I think Vini Jr. should have scored that chance, but credits to Manuel Neuer, made his body silhouette bigger or larger, and it confused Vini Jr. He could not angle a shot into the net. Again, there were decent chances for the likes of Mbappe, but the moment the changes happened, Bayern's changes on paper were supposed to add to their strength. For instance, Alphonso Davies for Konrad Laimer. He used to bring explosiveness at the left back position and also at the left channel. Again, Jamal Musiala for Serge Gnabry. We know how Jamal Musiala is very crafty. He can weave chances through the middle, even in tight spaces. But these are players who are lacking sharpness. So what you expected on paper did not actually manifest in reality, and it affected them. On the other hand, Madrid's changes brought some kind of presence into their game, and then they began to also create opportunities, but it was more about the individual brilliance. Jude Bellingham and most of the progressive carries he made, especially the pass that he gave, I think it plays a part in what Madrid can do in the second leg. If they would need to arrest the situation and then come back into the game, it is not just going to be about Arbeloa's tactics. He cannot defeat Bayern and company with tactics. They will need their big players to step up. They will need presence. They will need the individual players who carry a certain level of character to step up and then do it for them. For Bayern, it is just about repeating what we saw in the first leg and making sure that some of the sluggishness and then their poor finishing will be corrected in the second encounter. I don't think this tie is done, but it was a beautiful game and it produced goals as well. The two teams scoring with 3 goals being witnessed or being recorded on the day. I think it was very positive, but I don't think this tie is done. There is more to it in the second leg.
Nah, it's not done at all, just by what we witnessed, right? You made a brilliant point about Bayern Munich, and in watching the game, I quickly noticed this thing where they were trying to be very intricate in the play, get the ball into the box, and the final pass was lacking. And then ultimately, they got that first goal after you saw Kane drop into it, played the sequence well with Olise and Serge Gnabry, and then Luis Diaz doing the run. It was an enjoyable bit of football tactically. Company's 2-2-6, and Michael, I'm sure you also noticed how Bayern were swarming Real Madrid. Real Madrid were struggling to play out for it. Was just look, I haven't seen anything like this. Kelvin, it was high risk 2-2-6. He had 6 men constantly pressing Real Madrid's back 4, if you like. So it was almost like Real Madrid were struggling to play the ball out of the area, and it was something else. It was something else. The other thing that struck me, and Calvin, I'll bring you in. You are a huge fan of technically gifted players. Michael, correct me if I'm wrong. Who was it? Was it Pavlovic, he was brilliant to watch, right?
Yeah.
Passing under pressure, not afraid of receiving the ball, turning out of. Oh, it was a delight.
I think in the build up to the second goal, he was the one that won the ball off. I think it's Vinicius Junior.
Yeah,
he picked the pocket of Kairas.
Yes, took the ball of Kairas.
To work out the second goal. I think yesterday's game gave us a glimpse of what the future will look like in terms of the talents that are emerging. Yes, Thiago Petach did not really have a solid game, but he gives us flashes of how good he can be when in possession. Pavlovic just telling us that if we are talking about the future leaders of midfield in football, he's one to be considered as well. I think he's already someone that we know because of what he did last season, maybe last 2 seasons. But this season, he's starting to impose himself and then become a consistent presence in the Bayern middle. It was a beautiful one. I heard Raymond just some moments ago speak of
Michael Olise. Oh, goodness.
Beautiful player. I started to respect him when Bayern played Chelsea. At that time, the whole talk was about Marco Cucurella and how he stopped some top attackers and all that. And Olise was like, "You just hold my beer and let's do something." And he really gave Cucurella a tough fight. I have never seen Cucurella struggle against an opponent like he did against Olise. So I knew Carreras or whoever it was going to be in a very difficult situation playing against him. He's just unplayable. You can't mark him out. He will always find ways. He has that technical ability, and then individually too is brilliant. He's a solid player.
It was lovely to watch, and you were right about the next generation, right? It was just fun seeing all these Lima and Pavlovic and Carreras and Petach. You know, it's nice seeing these guys. Joshua Kimmich too. I thought he played very well, right? Very calm in possession, very solid. To think that the gentleman started off as a right back.
See, this has been the complaint of Toni Kroos. He doesn't understand why Nagelsmann is not playing him in midfield, because that seems to be his greatest weapon. His distribution, his eye for the pass. You know, cross-field deliveries, and you know, passing under pressure. He calms and dictates the tempo of the game for FC Bayern Munich. And you look at him; he's so brilliant. He doesn't cringe. You know, even when there's too much pressure on him, he still finds a way to get himself out or find the pass. And he's very much confident. And it's been brilliant, almost like Philip Lahm. The only thing is I think Lahm was just, you know, maybe a step or 2 steps higher, because you could barely find fault with Lahm's defensive abilities. But Kimmich has a bit of defensive lapses, especially when he's playing at right back. But in midfield, he's virtually, you know, brilliant. And I think that, you know, it was also one of the reasons why I think Madrid did not have a very good, you know, game until Jude Bellingham came on, and then with his Mourinho rant, now Pavlovic and then, you know, himself, Kimmich, had to keep an eye on what they had to do to stop him, because, you know, he's also one gifted player who just brings the ball, and not like the others. You know, Tchouaméni is very careful with the ball. He doesn't take risks. Fede Valverde at times wants to take risks, but he only does that when Madrid are in a difficult situation. And we know that the youngster Thiago, you know, he needs to develop a bit more to, you know, command.
He has a lot more to learn, but the potential is there.
Exactly, it's clear, but he needs to just command that sort of you know, play. So, Kimmich, brilliant, but I think that, just like Michael was saying, company is really evolving. And what Arbeloa also did was to just allow most of the players to do whatever they did best. But, you know, thanks to Manuel Neuer, on any day, that goalkeeper is out of this world. 40 years, and how with his frame he goes down easily to make saves. Look at that. Not even talking about Vinicius Keller, because that one, he sees it, and with experience, if he just takes the step, he knows how many steps. But that acute angled low drive by Mbappe, which he went down easily and quickly to just parry away. And how he parries the ball away, he does not fix balls back into.
No, he's parrying it
out of play, and that makes his saves phenomenal.
For me, the Neuer moment of the game, Michael, I'm sure the 1v1 with Vinny Jr. And I say that lots of goalkeepers need to learn that he forced Vinny Jr. into a decision. He didn't go down. He stayed up, just went with the flow, and then gave Vinny Jr. a decision to make that, okay, now try and find your angle. And Vinny Jr. couldn't. So brilliant stuff all around. It was nice to watch.
And I think what was excellent about that was his awareness. Neuer knew where he was positioned.
Yes, exactly.
And knew the angle of the ball. So I think he measured his position to the post and made sure that he will guide Vinny Jr. further wide, away from where he could actually angle the ball into the net. And he trusted in his imposing figure. So again, he did not dive into the challenge. He just waited and baited Vinny. I think these things come with experience. You don't teach them. No,
you don't teach them at all. You can't learn that. You only learn it from experience. If you've done it so many times, you know exactly what to do. It's like an experienced striker with his back to goal. Exactly. He knows that where I'm standing, the goal is behind me. So if I turn and hit a shot, I'm scoring. Let's talk about tonight's game.
Just something short. Talking about the goalkeeping. If Courtois or Manuel Neuer was in post for Real Madrid,
I think the story
that hurricane effort, and as much as it was a brilliant strike, but I think that if Lunin was as experienced as Courtois, and then he would have saved it.
I won't say experience. I think that for such shots, the goalkeeper's physical advantages are the trick here. That's the trick.
Lunin has a similar physique like Neuer. Just unfortunately, he couldn't time how to because anyone who knows Harry Kane, when those balls are given, he goes straight to that. And just like Michael was saying, he knows Vinny was always going to go wide. So what do I do? Position myself to push him further wide, because he will never come to his left hand side. He will go to his right, and which is his left, and then he would have that opportunity to save it. Lunin did not, maybe pick his spots right, but you can't take anything away from Harry Kane too. He's a very brilliant goal scorer.
Harry Kane is a wonderful goal scorer.
So now Benjamin Asare would have to.
Oh, he saved this. Easy cry.
So he has to just watch the tapes and get ready. And get ready, right? And what makes Kane even more dangerous is this ability to leave the penalty box, come and be part of the play, let it develop, and then he can try. He appears to finish. Anyway, guys, we've got two tasty games: Barcelona and Atletico Madrid reprising Saturday's action. This time they play at the Spotify Camp Nou, and then there's PSG and Liverpool. Michael, let's talk about Barcelona and Atletico. A few years ago, it was Barcelona and Real Madrid meeting 5, 6, 8, 10 times a season. This time it is Atletico and Barcelona. They've met and met and met. Tonight they meet for the 5th time this season at the Spotify Camp Nou. I guess sometimes familiarity is a bad thing, because the two teams know a lot about each other.
Yeah, of course. And if you make it just this season, I think it is even long. From December, they've played 5 times.
From just between December and today, it will be 5 times.
They played 5 times.
Yeah.
So it is clear, and it makes it interesting. I want to see the energy that Atleti brings into this game, judging by what happened last Saturday when they played at the Wanda. There are a bit of controversies that have arisen after Barcelona's win. Much talk about it. Hansi Flick knows that, yes, they had one over them, but it won't be the same. It is the same opponent in terms of the team, the name. But in terms of approach, in terms of how this game is going to be played, it won't be the same as the Atleti they played last Saturday. And a lot of changes will be expected too. You expect Julian Alvarez to play a part in here, Ademola Lookman to also start. I think Simeone's lineup in Saturday's game was a clear indication of how he would approach this game. He wants to start all his best players and make sure that in as much as Atleti are playing as the underdogs, they have a certain attacking threat that will also trouble Barcelona. And we know Barca, for everything that they are, from last season to this season under Hansi Flick, one thing has always been clear. They have defensive frailties. They have weaknesses, which any opponent can exploit. And when they come up against opponents who have pacey attackers, who have wing attackers, who are crafty, they mostly struggle against them. Against Club Brugge, they made Carlos Forbes look like he was unplayable. In similar fashion, I think Atleti has such quality in their setup. Ademola Lookman, Julian Alvarez, who is very mobile, can play on the flanks or through the center. Again, for Juliano Simeone, who got a goal in last Saturday's game, Atleti has that attacking threat to trouble Barcelona. So the issue will be about Barca's control, because Barca are very vulnerable, or they are prone to attacks when they don't have possession. When they have it, it is not an issue. So I think it is about how Barcelona control this game. If they're able to do that very well, it gives them a certain advantage. I don't know how ready Frankie de Jong is for this match, but if you have a midfield duo in terms of the pivots, if you have Pedri, you have Frankie de Jong, then Barcelona have the personnel to play and then impose themselves in a manner where Barca seizes control from Atletico Madrid, and that they can control the game for larger periods. If it is just going to be Pedri, it makes his job a bit difficult for him, and I don't know how the combination will be, who gets to pair Pedri in the middle. So control is what Barcelona needs. For Atleti, they need chaos. They need to break Barca's control. They need to force mistakes from Barcelona's players, and it's very crucial. So it is control versus chaos. Whoever manages one well will definitely seize their moment. I think it is a game where on paper it looks like it is Barcelona's to lose, but I think it is more difficult in reality.
Yeah.
And Atleti has what it takes to trouble Barcelona on the night. Barca will need their control. If they don't get it, trust me, it's going to be a game where both teams will score. There will be scoring stakes for each side. And then I think eventually it could end in a draw if Barcelona don't get that control they need.
Well, it reminds me of last night's game, chaos versus control. I guess we'll see a repeat. Bayern Munich craving control. Real Madrid craving chaos to go and cause damage. Calvin, let's talk about what happens at the Parc des Princes tonight. It's Paris Saint-Germain taking on Liverpool. The two teams prepared for this game with contrasting fashions. PSG beat Toulouse 3-1 on Friday. The next morning, Liverpool were getting thumped by Manchester City in the FA Cup, and Liverpool have to go to the Parc des Princes tonight and see what they can get. Liverpool are not in a good place at all, and tonight Arne Slot has to try and manage this team and get them to survive.
This evening he has to sort out his defense.
So the defense,
if it's the same defense that showed up against Manchester City on Saturday, that is going to show up later today. Trust me, it's going to be a bloodbath. It wouldn't be like last season when they managed to at least lose by. They went to win.
They went to win, and then PSG came to tie it, and they settled it.
I think their defense this season is terrible to watch. And with what I see from PSG, Dembele knows that a lot of the goodwill, a lot of the clout, a lot of the clamor is moving away from him. So he needs to redeem himself, and he can.
Two on Friday,
and he can only do that. And if you look at the international friendly, France played. The kind of effort and energy he put in, clearly giving you an indication, and Desiree Doué and the likes, Varashkili and all those others, it gives lots of questions about how Liverpool are going to deal with the threats. But I'm sure they are able to have very good, defensive setup to repel all those attacks. I know Mohamed Salah has probably maybe checked out of Liverpool. You see him and games or goals or opportunities that Salah will easily convert in previous years. Now he struggles to convert them, and I think that it is something that they need to work at. But like I've said, it's all about Liverpool's defense. If they're able to defend well,
but what has gone wrong?
It's the structure. It's the structure with which, Arne Slot decided to tamper with. And he doesn't have the same materials that could play exactly the way as Liverpool wanted last season. Robertson is on a decline. Kerkesh may not be that player as Robertson. Trent Alexander-Arnold may not be defensively good, but look at the others that he's putting up. Jeremy Frimpong, Dominic Szoboszlai isn't your ideal right back that you'd want him to play there. In the midfield where he had a very perfect partnership, he's altered this as many times as you can think of, and it's not giving the team that balance and consistency as you want to see from Liverpool. Salah is not giving the same numbers because now he's clearly not their main outlet. They want to go direct through Hugo Ekitike or Ishak or whoever plays, and it's also giving them problems. Maybe someone might have downplayed the impact of Luis Diaz in the Liverpool team.
True.
But I think that now it's hitting them. Florian Wirtz may not be giving them that. Cody Gakpo is not living up to expectations. So all those things seem to be affecting Liverpool, and I just hope they can, pull off their magical spirits in Europe at times when they do. But on paper, on face value, I think that PSG stand a better chance of winning tonight's game.
Well, we'll see. Michael, we saw Liverpool play terribly at Man City in the FA Cup. Virgil van Dijk has come under a lot of scrutiny following that performance. How can Liverpool get it right tonight? Kelvin was talking about Slot managing the defense, and that if he gets that wrong, Liverpool are in for a very, very long evening.
I think the absence of Alisson Becker will hurt them further. And I say this because in last season's game, they played at the Parc des Princes when they won a goal to 0. It was not because Liverpool dominated. PSG created loads of chances, but excellent saves from Alisson Becker kept them in the game until they got that goal. So I think he's a difference maker. When you get to stages like this in the Champions League, you need goalkeepers to step up. Yesterday, the conversation has been around David Raya. He prevented 1.57 goals for Arsenal. Eventually, Arsenal kept a clean sheet, and what happened was they won a goal to 0. Again, we are discussing Manonoya and the excellent saves he made. He prevented goals that Madrid could have scored, and eventually the game could have been like 2-2 or 3-2, advantage Madrid. So it points towards the fact that, yes, a coach will get his tactics right, he will do this, he will do that. But definitely, when it gets to this stage, you are meeting the best of the best. So opponents that you meet will also create opportunities against you. That is where you need your goalkeepers to step up. I have not been so convinced about Georgi Mamadashvili. Yes, he was a good goalkeeper at Valencia, but he's gone a scale higher. The level he is at now is way higher than where he was at Valencia. So a lot will be asked of him. Is he ready for it? That is a big question. And I fear that he won't be able to match up to the task and everything that will be offered from the Paris Saint-Germain team. PSG, I don't know how they do this. But when we get into the business end of the season, then they activate full gear and they come at you. They start playing their best brand of football. At the start of the season, they will maybe labor to results. They will not win convincingly. But when it gets here, they beat teams or they dispatch teams easily. And I think they are in that mood. It is going to be a difficult game for Liverpool. I don't see where they have a certain strength over Paris Saint-Germain. They will not dominate the midfield battle. Defensively, they are not as solid as you expect. And then in attack, they don't have the explosive Mo Salah. So everything points towards the fact that if Liverpool would get something out of this game, then that would definitely be a miracle. So if you ask me, how can Liverpool get something from this? Only a miracle will help them.
Well, Liverpool will need a miracle. For Paris Saint-Germain, though, I look at them and I watched that game they played against Toulouse on Friday. This is what is guaranteed. They will give up a goal because defensively they are also struggling. There's a lot of uncertainty in that back line, especially in central defense. You can argue that they made changes here. It was Zabani and co. But even when they play Marquinhos, there's a bit of a challenge. The issue is who partners him. Is it Zabani? Will they go in for Pacho? Right and left back is sorted. I think that the likes of Hakimi and Nuno Mendes will still play. They've not had a settled midfield. Vitinha has been there. Vitinha has been the constant. João Neves in and out. It's Fabian Ruiz who has not been too present this season or large parts of the season due to injury. And then there's the front line. Kavicha Kvaratskhelia has looked good in the last few weeks. Ousmane Dembele is beginning to look okay, and I get the sense a lot of what PSG will do right tonight will go through him. A lot of the leg work, the heavy lifting, the running around. Now it is this other thing because Desiree Doué, it looks like he will be the one to play in the other attacking role. And if if his inconsistent self doesn't show up, PSG have got a good chance. Because what worries me about Desiree Doué is the inability to stay locked in for 100 minutes. He can get very flimsy sometimes, can waste a lot of chances, can be very ineffective. So PSG will have to play on the front foot. But Liverpool are going to face PSG at a very terrible time when Liverpool themselves are struggling. And Michael, you make a solid point about Mamadashvili. He does not give the backline any confidence. So the backline is already shaky. And then you have this goalkeeper who's not too sure of what it is he wants to do. Right, so Liverpool are in for a tough evening, but let's see how they respond tonight. It should be a fun game. Michael, predictions. Let me take predictions from you and predictions from Kelvin, and then we'll wrap it up. What happens in the two games?
I think PSG scoring multiple goals against Liverpool, so probably a 3-1 result for PSG, and then Barcelona Atletico Madrid. Forgive me, Barca fans, but maybe a 2-2.
2-2, I see. Wow, interesting. Yeah. Let's see how let's see if Atletico can manage that. Kelvin, let me take your predictions.
PSG wins 3-1. I think Barca edges it 2-1.
2-1. Barcelona to win 2-1. I see. Quite interesting. 9:53. We'll be wrapping it up in a bit. I don't know if you have some WhatsApp messages. My people, can you give me some WhatsApp messages? 054-257-1061. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. We'll be wrapping it up in a second. Let me go through some of the messages that have come through. This one is from my namesake. My namesake, Nathan in Kaswa. He says, I watched the two games yesterday and it showed that the boys have been separated from the men. I had a feeling Martinelli would be introduced in the second half and cause an upset for Sporting, and indeed, he created the goal. As for Bayern, Company and his guys ensured Madrid were a no-show in the first half, but they failed to take their chances to make things extremely difficult for Real Madrid in the second leg. And it says, but Olise gave Carreras a game he'll want to forget quickly. As for the three coaches mentioned as a possible replacement for Otto, I won't even waste my time. Interesting thoughts there. Michael, if you are still on, do you want to give me a minute or two on the three names that have been mentioned? Oh, okay. Michael has left us. Okay, I'll bring him in tomorrow. Jones says, I think Liverpool will shock you guys. Liverpool will win by 1-0. That is very, very possible. Liverpool can respond. Let us see what happens. Achu from 37 says, though we beat Madrid yesterday, the Upamecano and Gnabry chances were unforgivable. Proud of Company. First Bayern to beat Real Madrid since Jupp Heynckes in 2012. We'll take the advantage to the Allianz Arena next week and hope to qualify. Talking about Vincent Company, I never believed that he could succeed at Bayern, but he's proving me very wrong, right? Proving me very, very, very wrong. Company, have your flowers. I did not imagine him doing this kind of work at Bayern Munich, but he's created an absolutely brilliant team. So, Vincent Company, eggs on my face, hat on hand. I didn't think it would happen like this, but you've done an absolutely brilliant job. El Nino says, Olise be the most nonchalant player of all time. That is true. He doesn't look flustered. He's doing his work, you know. Anyway, Stephen Adane Dankwa, who's in Tema Community 3, JJD Clothing, says, good win for my team, Bayern. However, if we are taking half the chances, the tie would be well and truly over. I was hoping for a thumping. Hopefully that will come in the second leg. That's how we wrap it up this morning on the Sporty Breakfast. Many thanks for tuning in. I did this with Raymond Yamado, my wingman, Kelvin Owusu-Ansah, and Michael Asai-Boedu. Thank you so much for your calls, for your messages. Thank you to my production team, Immortal, Abigail, Aneki, and Angela. Many shouts to Fly and Emmanuel Ayamga. And many shouts to the technicians who worked on getting us back on air after the technical hitch we had very early on in the show. Many shouts to you, our listeners. Many thanks for listening. This has been the Sporty Breakfast. We'll catch you tomorrow with another exciting episode. Let's not forget that there's Sporty News at midday, and then there's Sporty Plug, there's Sporty Drive at 4, and then there's European Nights later. Front and center will be the UEFA Champions League games between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid at the Spotify Camp Nou, and Paris Saint-Germain and Liverpool at the Parc des Princes in Paris. We'll catch you later. Do keep your dials locked on Sporty 106.1 FM. We are the voice of sport. We'll catch you later. Have a wonderful day.